One of the most common objections I hear from Muslims is that why do you believe in the Trinity when the word Trinity is not even found in the Bible? And it's true, the word Trinity is not found in the Bible. And it's just like the Arabic word Tawheed, which refers to the oneness of God in Islam, is also not found in the Quran, but the Muslims use this term to speak of this core doctrine. Likewise, the Christians use the word Trinity to simply describe what they see about God in the Bible, that there is one God in three persons, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. So the objective here is to help our brother and sister Muslims to better understand what the Trinity is and to demonstrate that there are indeed elements of the Trinity found throughout both the Old and the New Testament. So, for starters, I'd like to better help understand what the Trinity is using the analogy of a large lake feeding into two canals. All three, the lake and the canals, they are all distinct forms, yet they share the same essence, the water. Likewise, when it comes to the Trinity, we can say that the lake represents the Father, the canals represent the Son, and the Holy Spirit. They are three distinct forms sharing one unified substance. This is what we see in the Bible. Now, with this analogy in mind, let's explore both the Old and the New Testament to demonstrate the triune nature of God. Now, in the Old Testament, it speaks of God's Spirit. Like in Genesis 1, the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Genesis 6, it says, My Spirit shall not abide in man forever. Numbers 11, Then the Lord came down in the cloud and spoke to him and took some of the Spirit that was on him and put it on the 70 elders. These verses demonstrate that the Spirit of God is not only active, it's personal and distinct. It's not merely an impersonal force, as some people may believe. So, here we see in the Old Testament that there is something called the Spirit of God, which also Islam acknowledges. There are other several Old Testament appearances of God involving a man like figure who speaks with divine authority and is even worshipped, what is known as a theophany. Like in Genesis 18, God appears to Abraham as a man with two angels. This man accepts worship and speaks as Yahweh. Genesis 32, Jacob wrestles with a man and says, I have seen God face to face. It's also why his name was changed to Israel, or one who wrestles or struggles or strives with God. Exodus 3, the angel of the Lord appears in the burning bush, but speaks as God. I am the God of your father. So, as we can see, the Old Testament demonstrates a theophany, things that where God manifests either as a human or a human like figure. But let's delve a little deeper. Let's go to Exodus 33, verses 18 through 23. It talks about the story of Moses where he requested to physically see God. There's a similar story found in the Quran in Surah 7. So let's take a look here in Exodus. It says, Moses said, Please show me your glory. So he's requesting to see the glory of God. And here's what God told him: You cannot see my face, for man shall not see me and live. And the Lord said, Behold, there is a place by me where you shall stand on the rock. And while my glory passes by, I will put you in a cleft of the rock, and I will cover you with my hand until I have passed by. Then I will take away my hand, and you shall see my back, but my face shall not be seen. Isn't this interesting? So, this passage gives us this mysterious and awe inspiring theophany. Though Moses could not see God's face, he did see his back. He experienced a real encounter with God's presence. And in this passage, we see God the Father speaking to Moses, his spiritual presence promised to accompany Israel, like found in Haggai 2:5. And in this passage, we see a physical manifestation of God. So, all three elements of the triune nature of God is found in this passage alone. So, yes, the Old Testament does share elements of the triune nature of God. Now, this becomes more apparent in the New Testament. It clearly reveals what the Old Testament only hinted at, that the triune nature of God is true. Many New Testament passages explicitly demonstrate the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit working together in unity, each distinct in person, yet unified in essence. Like in Matthew 3, it says, when Jesus was baptized, immediately he went up from the water, and behold, the heavens were opened to him, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and coming to rest on him. And behold, a voice from heaven said, this is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. So, as we can see here, the Father is speaking from heaven, the Son is the one being baptized, and the Spirit descends visibly. This is a clear theophany of the Trinity in action. So, there are many passages in the New Testament, but I'll stop here. Why is it so difficult for Muslims to accept the fact that this triune behavior is found in the Bible? Is it because the Quran erroneously perceives the Trinity as three gods? And the fact that it does say that it's three gods, it means that the Quran is not divine because it misunderstood a basic doctrine of Christianity? Or is it because Muslims think God is too glorious to enter his creation? And again, the Quran does demonstrate that God or Allah has entered his creation. So the key is for our Muslim friends to ask themselves if they truly believe that God is an all powerful being and whether this all powerful being has the ability to enter his creation or not.